everybody? It's your girl Cece, Where It Begins Magazine, and I have three special guests on the line with me today. I'm gonna let all of them introduce themselves, where they from, what they do.
I guess I'll start because ladies are first. My name is Ashley Baker. I am one of the hosts and the producer for the Sports After Dark podcast. I am so excited to be here. I reside in Washington, D.C. I'm not a Commanders fan, as y'all can see. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. But yes, I'm excited to be here. My two great co-hosts alongside me make up the Sports After Dark crew. So I'll let you, you guys tell them about yourself as well. I'm a mom of, two beautiful children. And yeah, that's what it is right now.
And before they introduce yourself, I always tell people when they say you from DC, I say, yes, what do you think DC stands for? Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. That's what thank you. I'm just so happy that there's somebody that gets it.
All right, who's going to introduce themselves now?
I'll get it out the way. My name is David Butler. I reside in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm one of the co-hosts of Sports After Dark podcast, as Ashley Baker just said. I'm a father of three boys, and I'm a Niners fan. Go Niners.
Okay, that's my brother's favorite team. Okay,
he know ball. He know ball.
And for you?
Yeah, so I'm Chris Lewis, or C. Lou. That's what I go by. Co-host of Sports After Dark. I live in the other Washington State. I'm not a Seahawks fan. As you can see behind me, I am a Colts fan, Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, I'm a father of one little boy. He runs my life right now. So yeah.
All right. So let's talk about y'all podcast. How did it get started? What's the motivation behind this podcast? What made y'all do this together?
Yeah, so I have always wanted to create a sports talking space that gives the barbershop kind of vibes. I'm a girl, so obviously I haven't spent much time inside of a barbershop, but from what I heard, there's great conversation, great life lessons to be learned in the barbershop, whatever. I have a son now. I still don't frequent it as much as dad takes on, but that's fine. I wanted to create that space when it comes to sports talk. And the opportunity presented itself with, as far as what I really like, via Twitter. Twitter rolled out what is called Twitter Spaces, where it's a room similar to Clubhouse for those that are familiar. Similar to Clubhouse, where you get a room full of people, you can talk about any given topic, and so many amount of people can grab mics and engage in that conversation with you. With Twitter, it was just very convenient because we spend so much time on Twitter anyway, and you stay in that same app and you're able to go into these rooms and have these conversations. So I think about 2 years ago at this point, I just decided to start a space, and just maybe it was like a top 5 greatest point guards of all time for basketball or something like that. And it was just a hit. It was a big hit with everybody coming in. And then I started doing it, nightly. And then I pulled these two guys in because they are like the two, oh my goodness, the sports that it's just ridiculous. Their sports minds. And it just kind of took off from there. We have a Sports After Dark community on Twitter of over 2,000 members. The page has 3,000 followers. And we allow about 10 people on average to come up and get mics. We love that, right? But after about a year, we're like, look, everybody has so much opportunity to talk and get their takes off and give their opinions. But I do want to tap in a little bit more of folks being able to hear from us three, particularly, on our own, because we just allow everybody to talk more than we do. And that's when the podcast came along. So the podcast is airing on wherever you can find your podcast. We do it on YouTube. We air on Instagram. We do air on Twitter. We have Apple as an option and Spotify as well. So that's kind of where it came from, to kind of just take our three minds, and we have guests and, other folks on from time to time, but just to really get a deeper insight as to what our thoughts and opinions are on various sports topics. So that's where it came from.
Okay. So how are y'all liking doing the podcast so far? Joining on with Ashley.
It's been cool. Before she wrote me in, and I still do it, but I have my own podcast, Drop Balls Podcast, and I was doing that since like 2020, and so then once she started the spaces and everything, once she got me in, it it's been fun. We have our debates, we have the heated conversations and everything. I mean, all about sports, but I mean that's like that barbershop atmosphere where you go into the barbershop, it gets down, especially when we're talking sports. So it's been cool, and then especially starting the sports after dark after hours. It's been fun. It's been fun. I mean, it's time consuming, but I mean, I get to talk sports, and one of the things I love to do is talk sports. I played my whole life, so being able to talk about it is good.
Okay.
Well, I came from a background where I didn't have no podcast or anything. I just was a person that talked sports all the time, like my family, my friends. That's all I did. So when I got introduced to the spaces and I saw that Ashley was hosting these spaces, I felt like I was at home because all I do is talk sports all the time. So, you know, when she asked me to come along, it just was like, oh, okay, all right, you doing something right out here because somebody want to help you broadcast more of people seeing you give your opinion because you must know what you're talking about. She wouldn't be asking you if you don't know what you're talking about. So it's been exciting. It's been fun. The journey has been fun. The places I've been able to go, the people I've been able to meet. I'm very grateful. I'm truly blessed to be able to do it. And a lot of people around me was like, this is your home. You should have been doing this. But I'm like, everything happens in God's timing. So,
Amen.
I'm just truly blessed to be a part of it.
All right. Okay. So who are some people y'all would like to interview or get on your podcast?
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna let one of y'all go first. Go ahead.
Oh man. I think if I personally, of course I gotta pick a Niner. So
You
I
don't
think it
have to.
would I know I got to. It would be really dope to interview Fred Warner. It would be really dope. I think he's my favorite player on the Niners. So it would be dope to interview him.
Okay. And what about
Yeah,
you?
I had to go with a former coach, Reggie Wayne. Wide receiver coach. Definitely had to get Reggie Wayne on there at some point.
Well,
Okay.
contrary to popular belief, I am not going with a Cowboys player. But listen, so the Cowboys are my favorite team ever, but my favorite player of all time is Tom Brady. He was just, I don't even need to give the man an introduction to talk about how amazing he is. I would love to have Tom Brady on the show and interview him. That would be just probably one of the greatest honors of my life, being able to interview him. So I'm going with the GOAT. I'm going with Tom Brady.
And even though he a GOAT and you doing the podcast, I'm pretty sure everybody will come on and be talking about his cheating and all that other stuff. So it'll be a great conversation to have. I definitely would enjoy to see what people had to say on him.
Yeah, he would have to clear some stuff up for sure because folks are going to have questions.
That for sure. So what do y'all see yourself? What is one of y'all main goals for the rest of this year?
Well, I'll start. I think one of the things we want to do, so we are recently partnered with Playback. And Playback is an app where you can watch live sporting events with that same type of crowd and room that I talked about, with folks able to grab mics and come into the room. And, there's a chat there. So one of the things that I know that we all want to do is obviously increase the following over there. It's a completely different platform. So it's bringing people from several different places where our following resides to having them download another app on their phone. So that's like a personal goal of ours to, just increase the following there. And really obviously increase the following on like our YouTube page, interview some folks, be in different settings, cover different events, just really make a name for the Sports After Dark brand because I can't tell you from DeMarcus Spears, who's a former NFL player, from Joy Taylor, who is blowing up in the women's scene. Ryan Clark. I've had these individuals say, "You got something going on with Sports After Dark." Like they've literally said, "Keep it going. You have something going." So, just really increasing visibility, and just making folks more aware of the brand.
Okay. What is one of y'all goals that y'all want to see for before this year goes?
She kind of said it all, to be honest with you. I guess to try to, I don't even know how to finish it. She kind of said everything. Like, to be honest with you, to be in different rooms, to interview certain people. I know personally for me, I would love to be, because I always dreamed to be an NFL pro scout. So if Sports After Dark can be a step ladder for me to be at those combines and be in the rooms and hear NFL executives talk about who they're going to draft and the rumors and such like that, then that would be an amazing thing to me. But just like she said, long as just to get the brand out more, so people know around the world who we are and how people just authentically, genuinely rock with us.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much said it all. To be able to like, and I mean to add to that, but just being able to go to get into different sporting events. I mean, we've been trying to do multiple things as of recently, but just being able to, like, once they see our name on those lists, like, oh yeah, automatically here you go. Here's your credentials. Y'all good to go. Like I was able to go to the combine this year. And while I wasn't credentialed or anything, it's a great experience. So I can only imagine how that experience would be being credentialed, being able to talk to some of the players and different things like that. So hopefully what this year brings, or prayerfully what this year brings, is that, like I said, they see our name on those lists and they're just automatically, all right, yeah, Sports After Dark, they're good. Hand them their stuff, we good to go. And I'm hoping that's what we can accomplish this year, and then continue to grow the brand, like AB said.
I think
Okay.
another thing, that just on a deeper level, just I know for me, I think it's really important for one of the goals be that women in this space understand that they belong, and not throwing my age or anything out there like that, but also as long as you have like breath in your body and you have will and determination, you can go out here and, make your dreams come true. Like it's a real thing. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Hard work is necessary. Consistency is key. You have to be able to take constructive criticism. That's some stuff that I'm kind of working on myself. But these guys really do keep me in line, keep me in check. They hold me accountable on the days that I just don't feel like it. David is like, we got to do it on the days where me and him might not feel like it. We'll get a text from Lou, are we running? And I'm like, we got to run because Lou is asking if we got to run. Like, just I the bigger goal, the bigger overall thing is for folks to just really see that hard work pays off, consistency pays off. I remember the early days of the Sports After Dark Twitter spaces where honestly, CC, we were on for 6 to 7 hours at a time every night. We're Sports After Dark. So these are like after games, after football games that don't end until 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we're running till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then still have our regular lives that we have to tend to, our children and the bills that we have to pay and the other jobs and stuff. Like hard work pays off, and sacrifice and grind. That's a necessity when you're trying to get to a different level. So I think the bigger picture overall, in addition to getting into the spaces and meeting people and covering and our name and our brand being a big thing, I really would like for people to understand like consistency is key. And if they can learn that from the Sports After Dark brand, by when they'll see us in those spaces and see us being talked about by certain people, that's just a win all around the board.
Okay, all right. So I guess just listening to y'all, the podcast, y'all are taking it to different places. Like when you cover it, y'all actually sitting down and y'all discussing those questions at the events.
So for now, at the moment, we're kind of just interviewing players. I know that when I'm at events and I'm interviewing, I will say this is Ashley with Sports After Dark, and I also do some freelancing with Fox Sports, so I'll make sure I introduce myself that way. But it's just really important to build those relationships with players and front offices and PRs and folks in the media, because you want to be known as a reputable organization. So we're kind of finally just tapping that iceberg. Hopefully we'll have a nice little announcement coming in the next week or so of a big event that we'll be covering once we get credentialed. But once we start getting in those rooms, really getting in those rooms under a Sports After Dark credential, that's where we'll really be able to sit down, develop those relationships. And but social media is like the biggest thing right now. It's the biggest selling point, and just unconsciously shoving ourselves in everybody's face, constantly promoting, constantly kicking stuff to family member, friends, people want to, like, that's what we're doing at this moment, in addition to, of course, putting out great content.
Okay, all right. That's a good thing, especially because you already do interviews and you already been in the sports for a while. So just putting it all together, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
So what kind of questions do y'all ask? Is it usually like, what's y'all top receivers? Who y'all top quarterbacks? What kind of questions do y'all throw out?
So do y'all want to talk about the joy? Y'all want to talk about so right now, depending on who we have, so like we've had Joy Taylor on a couple of times.
Okay.
And it really is dependent upon like what's going on at the moment. Yeah. Right. So what's the questions we've asked? What was the last time she was on? Was it Super Bowl?
I think it was right before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right before the Super Bowl. She was on.
I don't remember what we asked her.
What did we ask her though?
Probably who was gonna win.
Probably
I'm pretty sure we talked about who we thought she was, gonna win. Kind of those in the moments questions because of the Super Bowl at the time. So, she's a Miami fan, so it's important I know for me, one thing that I've learned is I like to know the person's like background. So when she's a Miami fan, she was born in Pittsburgh, but raised in like Miami. So she may, talk trash about everybody, saying, I'm going to talk to you about your Dolphins, sis. Like, you can talk trash about everybody, but what's up with your Dolphins? What's up with that? I may even we may even throw a Steelers question, but for sure, for those type of interviews, it's pretty much like what's going on right then and there questions that we'll ask. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm getting to is, what makes your podcast different than other podcasts? What makes y'all stand out to be different?
I think what makes us stand out, that we are unapologetically who we are.
Okay.
We stay true to who we are as people, and I think that's what made people gravitate to us, because it doesn't feel like we're trying to be something else to get everybody's attention or to get everybody to want to come talk sports with us. They feel like it's very natural and it's very genuine. And we kind of are seeing that because, like she said, we built platforms from Twitter. And when we transferred to YouTube, a lot of those same people came over to YouTube. We came out with playback. A lot of those same people came to playback, because it lets me know, like, these people just genuinely rock with who y'all are as people. And they do respect your opinion. They might not agree all the time, but they do respect your opinion enough to where they want to keep listening and keep hearing what you got to say.
Yeah, and I mean that's another thing. I think AB talked about it earlier about wanting that barbershop type setting, and we've hit on it a couple times. But not only that we are who we are, but it's raw. Like it's raw. Like it's us. Like that's what you get. I talk trash. I talk a lot of it. And even when we in the podcast or when we in playback, that's what you get. Like you don't. But I also back it up with facts and why I will say that or something like that. So it's people love it. And I think that's the thing that separates us, is that, like I said, we're raw, we're uncut. Sometimes we're filtered, sometimes we're unfiltered, and we give you what you probably won't see on TV. Like you won't get on TV or any of those things like that at all.
And also, I think when it comes to like the bigger individuals we've had on, or that I've spoken with, I think it's treating them just like they are one of us.
Mhm.
When Joy
Yeah,
is
no
in
special
sync with
treatment
us,
for
when
them.
they love that. Yeah, we're not holding back. Now you have your All About Smoke podcast, your podcast, Peak podcast. Those are great podcasts, but they do hold back to an extent. No, if Joy says something that people don't agree with, Joy is gonna hear it in our spaces. Like, and she know it. That's one of the first things she said to us, like, it's really raw and it's a lot, but I love it. Keep it like that. Don't change that. And so that is, I think that's one of the things, just it's legit basketball and sports passionate talk, and we just gonna give it to you like it is. It's really no way around it. If we don't agree, we do not care that you are Marcus Spears or Ryan Clark or Jamel Hill. We don't care. You're gonna catch smoke. You're gonna catch the smoke if folks don't agree with you. And
That's a fact.
they love
That's
that
a
to an
fact.
extent. They weirdly love that. They weirdly like that. So that's probably a magic right there. That's probably what it is that differentiates us for sure.
I'm definitely gonna check out some of y'all podcasts, but it seemed like
Yeah.
you in control, because I sit here and I was gonna ask you, how do you feel with the two men? Do they be ganging up on you? But it seemed like you just be like, yeah, y'all try me if you wanna.
Don't
Nah,
let this
we
fool you.
we
Don't let
gang
this
up on
fool
each
you.
other.
Oh
It's
yeah, we
No,
gang up
they
on each other. Yeah, we
yeah,
gang
like
up
it's
on each
no
other.
man.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe
nobody's safe at all.
Listen,
for sure.
I'm very I'm gonna stand 10 toes, CC. That's me. I'm a stand 10 toes when I got an opinion on something, and I'm gonna roll with it. And shout out to them, because sometimes it be a dangerous 10 toes, girl. It be dangerous. I be saying some wild stuff, and they be like, she's standing on it though. I mean, it is what it is. And because I'm a woman in sports, is get back in the kitchen. You don't know what you're talking about. Why'd you say that? And shout out to them, because they always have my back in those moments. But no, they'll check me now. No, they'll definitely check me. And that's cool, because it's learning. It really is learning. Like their form of checking me is really them just educating me on something that I've never played. Both of them have played ball before, whether it was basketball or football, and so they do have to sometimes, like, no, you're wrong, AB. You're wrong, Ash. That's not it. So, I'm I'm fine with it.
Well, I usually do a fun fact at the end of the podcast. So I have two questions for y'all. That's fun fact. Okay, so the first one is, I'm gonna switch it around because I always ask this question. If you could switch places with one person for one day, who would it be? But for y'all, it's gonna be, if you could switch places with one sports person, who would it be for one day?
Mm, for one day.
I'm gonna let
So
y'all go.
it can be a player, or it could be a player.
Anybody in sports?
Okay.
Media player, whoever. Okay.
Mm,
That's a good question, CC.
that's a good question.
So many different options.
Just for one day.
Okay, all right,
Just for
fine.
one day.
Mm. I would go with LeBron. I would go with LeBron.
Somebody will come out with them. Okay.
I would go with LeBron. Just to see what his day is like on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
But why did you choose him though?
Because he's, for one, his wealth has put him in a position to do certain things, make movies and commercials, and he's still great at basketball. And then he got his sons that play at an elite level, and just to watch him, to see how he is as a family man, how he is as a businessman, and how he still works on his craft on a daily basis to still be good at his age. I would be intrigued to see. Yeah.
Is this one day in season or out of season?
Whatever you want it to be.
I want to morph into a football. I want to morph into a football player, maybe, but I don't want to get hit if it's like a Sunday or they in practice or something. So let me think about something.
You can pick how you want to pick, just that one day.
Go ahead, Lou.
Man, So it's definitely gonna be a football player. I haven't really decided who yet. And mainly for me is because I want to spend their money a little bit. Um
Okay.
I want to spend their money a little bit. Have a little shopping spree for myself and send everything to my house where I live at now. So that way when I get home, when we out of the body, that I still have the stuff. So who the highest paid receiver right now? Tyreek Hill, ain't it?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, and also I'm from Florida, so to be able to go back home and live in that little setting for a little bit, that would be nice too. But yeah, I mean Tyreek Hill, and it probably would be in season. I miss playing football. I haven't played football since college, so that'll be fun. But then like I said, after the game, maybe or after practice, whatever day it is, go spend a check a little bit and but just to see just to go through his regimen and everything as far as working out, how he prepares for the day, prepares for practice, prepares for the game, things like that, and go through that. And like I said, I miss it. Like I can't play football no more, whether it's flag or any of that, because my legs do not tolerate anything right now. But just to be able to go through all of that again, so that would be fun to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a area that's on the rise right now. And I'm picking this person because they're young and fresh out of college. And I can imagine the amazing, exciting feeling she has every day. And I'm gonna roll with Angel Reese, who plays for the Chicago Sky.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Angel Reese again. Again, I wouldn't spin her bag because my girl ain't getting what she should be getting yet. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, that's coming for them.
It's coming.
But it's coming. But just to have the outstanding collegiate career that she had, and then for that to actually really be translating very well in the WNBA so far. She's just a hot commodity right now, man. Like, she's getting signed to so many different things. She just became owner of a sports team and invited to the Met Gala, and I mean all the female rappers want her in the video. I need to see what's up with Angel. And I also want to know, I feel like sometimes these people be so busy, when do they ever have time to sleep? Like, I really want to know, like, and with being on that level, like, when do you sleep? It just seems like you always moving, always shaking and moving. So I'm gonna roll with Angel Reese.
Okay. All right. So my second question is simple. Since y'all do podcasts, who is one person you would like to interview, and what question would you ask them?
As I mentioned, I would interview Tom Brady.
Okay. And what question would you ask him?
I would need a lie detector test on him for this because I don't know. He kind of cleared it up in the roast, but I don't know if he really was playing or serious. Did you really deflate the balls? But I need a lie detector test man, like on standby, because I need him hooked up. You can't lie to me. I need the truth. Because people, you my favorite player, and people keep putting a question mark next to that championship. I don't like that.
Okay.
So I'm going with Tom Brady. That's my question.
So I'm gonna go the same direction as AB and do Tom Brady too. But the question, no, hold on. The question I'm gonna ask him, because it was a Colts game in 2015 where we did some dumb play, and I just want to know what was going through his head when he saw the Colts when he saw us doing that. And I just want to know what was going through his head. What he thought about that. And and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay. What about yours?
This would be a heartbreaking question I would ask Fred Warner. What was going through your mind when you saw Patrick Mahomes walking us down in overtime and we ended up losing the Super Bowl? Because I need to know. Because I know how I felt watching it on TV. So how was you in that moment?
Oh my life.
Yeah, I would need to know the answer to that.
That's a good question.
That's a good question for sure.
I feel his pain though, but I need to know.
I just have a personal question to y'all. What is y'all favorite stadium? I read a book and the lady, she wrote about football and relationships and kind of described the stadiums. And I was like, oh, okay. So what's your favorite stadium?
I would say
Mm.
I haven't been to many, to be fair. But I've been to AT&T Stadium in Dallas. I've been to Jerry World. And it's amazing. It's an amazing stadium. So I would go with AT&T Stadium.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't been to many. But when I went to Indianapolis for the Colts Chiefs game 2 years ago, it's a nice stadium. It's a really nice stadium. So that would probably have to be my favorite that I've been to so far. Yeah.
I've been to a few of them, and to be honest with you, I probably will roll with AT&T Stadium as well.
Yeah.
The Cowboy Stadium is top notch, really dope. I'm like, okay, Jerry, I see what the money is going to. I see it for sure. It's definitely an experience going there. Absolutely.
All right. But before we get off, what is one message y'all want to leave with the audience today?
Chase your dreams. Chase your
I'll
dreams.
go with you never too old to learn, you're never too young to teach.
See, they said two good things and inspirational things. I'm gonna just say stay tuned, and remember our name.
Amen. Amen. So do y'all have anything coming up? Any new people that's coming up? Do y'all have any other projects y'all working on besides what y'all discussed?
That's pretty much what we have in the works for now. Football season is right around the corner. That is like our big time of the season. So we're in the middle of the NBA playoffs, kind of, about to start winding down from that once the finals pop off. And then it's straight into NFL season. Hopefully, a couple of us can go cover some training camps and be in the mix there and cover a couple of games throughout the season. So just look for the Sports After Dark hoodies or the hats, because we do have merchandise. And then, when you see that, when you see Sports After Dark, you'll know. Like he said, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All
And
right.
football season when I really get in my bag.
I know that's right. I'm gonna be on there as soon as I get off. I'm going subscribe.
Thank you, CC. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, I
Appreciate
can
that.
listen to it while I be up here working. I'm gonna be listening right in my ears. But shout out to our social media where y'all want us to follow y'all. I don't know if y'all want to do a personal or the page one, but shout out to your social medias where everybody can follow.
Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah. So my personal one is at DropBallsPod on Twitter. That's where you can follow me at. I can go ahead and do the Sports After Dark one too, AB. All right. So let me make sure I have it right, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's Sports A Dark _. That's right. Yeah. So for the Sports After Dark page, it's Sports A Dark _, and I believe that's also for Instagram too.
For Instagram, it's Sports After Dark and then the number 4.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I
and we're
think
on
on Play-
TikTok as well, and you can
Yeah.
find it on YouTube. Yep, of course.
Yeah.
And I think Playback was at Sports After Dark, right? On Playback.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for interviewing with me. It's been a pleasure to get to know y'all, know about y'all podcast, and y'all got me hooked now, and I want to go listen and hear some trash talking so I can laugh. I wanted to kind of do sports at one point in time, but y'all, when I did that, what y'all call it, the thing when you have to pick the players and stuff, yeah, it threw me off. I was like,
Fantasy football.
Oh, fantasy
Yeah.
football.
yes. When I did that, I was done. I was like, nope. Not
Yeah, it's a
happening. I
job.
would just interview sports people, but I'm not doing it. I had to call my brother every week. I was like, look, I thought I was doing good at picking this. This ain't it. What is up? He was like, you got to switch this. I was like, you know what? It's too much. I
It's a
can't.
job. It's a
Yeah.
job.
It really is a job.
That's
Like I
funny.
tried it and I was like, yeah, I can't do it. I'd rather pick, do the pool where you could just pick the teams or who gonna win. But
Mhm.
picking the players, you have to actually, to be a journalist or to really be into sports, you have to watch each game and know your players. So that is too much work. And I say that I am so thankful for y'all that does it. Y'all are a beast because I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm usually in like 10 fantasy leagues every year for fantasy football. Yeah.
You got that.
Yeah,
But the
for sure.
question is, have you ever won?
Yeah, so there was one year I won, like I was in like 13 and I won 5 of the 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for, of course, having us
Thank you.
on. I know it's been a
Thank you.
minute in
Thank
the
you.
works.
For
And
sure.
you guys have featured me before solo, and it was absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for the opportunity. We learned some stuff about you too. We're gonna have to make sure that we throw a little bit of fantasy talk in our podcast for you for when you listen in. You
Yes.
might,
Yes.
tap
And I'm
in
from
a little
DC
bit.
too. So I'm from DC.
Yes.
So when I come to DC, when I come home to visit, I'm definitely gonna hit you up.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'll be here.
All right. Well, y'all have a good day and thanks again.
Thank
Thanks
you. You
again for
too.
having us so
Thank
much.
you.
You
Thank
have a
you.
good evening too.
Thank
All
you.
right. You too.
All right.
All right.